Don't you just hate when people tell you don't compare, you're not behind? As if you don't know you shouldn't compare already. And so I realized instead of telling you guys you're not behind, you know what? Let's just panic together. Let's just accept that no matter where we are in life, we will always feel behind. Even the people that seems very ahead, they also feel behind. And so in this video, I'm not going to tell you how to never feel behind again. I'm going to tell you what to do when the thought of feeling behind overwhelms you, makes you panic, make you question yourself like, what am I even doing with my life? Hello guys, my name is Jasmine and welcome back to my channel. Feeling behind is a comparison problem. Just think about this. If you're in a car, you will only feel behind if you see cars in front of you. And so you start stressing about how to get to that car or how to get past that car. But no matter how many cars you pass, there are always more cars ahead of you. And this is the reason why almost everybody feels behind in life. Because we can only see the cars ahead of us, the people ahead of us, not behind us. And so naturally we feel behind in life. Even the people that you think are so ahead of you, they're also looking at somebody else right now thinking that they are behind. And there are probably people looking at you right now thinking that you are so ahead of them. So this is simply a perception problem. And that's why I don't think it's a problem at all that we feel behind in life. The problem only occurs when you start letting this feeling behind overwhelms you. Makes you feel like a failure, makes you feel like there's something wrong with you, makes you feel like you're not moving fast enough, make you ashamed of where you are in life right now. And so if you're feeling this way, the first thing I want you to do is to be specific. Allow me to explain. People like to say, I'm so behind in life, but that's not true. You're not behind in life, you're behind about a specific thing in life. And I want you to name that specific thing. It could be anything. It could be career, relationship, marriage, getting a kid, buying a house, anything. But you have to be specific. Because when you say, I'm so behind, you make it an identity problem. So you think there must be something wrong with you, hence you are behind. But when you name that specific thing, when you say, I'm behind at that specific thing, now it gives you a direction to focus on. Now you have a relationship problem. Now you have a finance problem. Now you have a business problem. Now you have a marriage problem. And now you have your problem. I want you to really think about what's a reason you think you might be behind. No judgment, just write down anything that comes to your mind. And while you're thinking, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. So when I was 23, I quit my 9-to-5 job and I moved to Australia. And I basically start from nothing. I started as a waitress serving coffee. The decision didn't make sense to anybody at that time, but I just know that this can't be it. I didn't know what I want, but I know I don't want to stay at my hometown forever. I'm curious about the world. But the decision came with sacrifice. My career was gone, and I remember just seeing my classmates or my ex-coworkers announcing them getting promoted or them getting a job at my dream company on LinkedIn. And I just felt so behind and so ashamed that I'm just a waitress at the same time. And so eventually I just stopped using LinkedIn because it made me feel so shit about myself. And the point of this story is that I completely forgot my why. I forgot that the reason why I decided to move abroad at the first place is because I didn't want a 9-to-5 at my hometown. I didn't want to follow the career ladder. I could have gone all in to building my career instead of moving abroad, but that's not what I wanted. And this is why I asked you to list down the reasons earlier, because it reminds you of why you are behind at a certain area of your life. Maybe you quit your 9-to-5 to chase your dream. Maybe you decide to go all in on your career instead of building a family. Or maybe like me, you decided to move abroad and start over. Or maybe you decide to prioritize learning and experiencing instead of a high salary job. It could be anything. With every decision you make, there is a decision you didn't make. And we as human beings, we love to dwell on the decision we didn't make, because the grass always looks greener on the other side. And that's why you have to get clear on what you want or what you don't want. Because once you know that, you will stop mourning for the path you didn't choose. Ask yourself, why did I choose this path? Why did I make this sacrifice? When you answer that, it almost feels ridiculous to compare your path to other people's because you guys didn't even want the same thing at the first place. So then every time when the feeling creeps back up, you get to tell yourself, I chose what I wanted, so it's okay that I feel behind now. Now you can argue, but what if we want the exact same thing? What if me and that person walk the exact same path, but somehow that person just always seems to be one step ahead of me? Okay, first of all, nobody's path looks exact the same. You guys have different family background, different family wealth, different gender, different races. There are too many factors involved. And I can give you a million reasons why nobody's path looks the same, but we're not going into that today. But once we get this clear, okay, I want you to study that person. If this person is always one step, two steps ahead of you, they are probably doing something right. Study them. Too often, we feel behind and we get into this negative mental loop. It's discouraging, but there's actually something you can do at this moment. If you don't know this person, read their book, listen to the podcast they're on, read the articles they write, study them, understand what their technique is, what is their mindset, and learn from them. And if you know this person, even better, you can reach out to them and even ask them to help you. One thing I noticed after I get past my feeling behind syndrome and actually start to reach out to people is that I think most people actually love to help others. And they like to talk about themselves, their stories. And so don't feel weird doing that. Once you get into this action mode, the frustration you have from feeling behind will be replaced by the sense of achievement. Because you know you are actually improving and you know you are working towards something. The most dangerous thing is that when we feel behind and then we stop here. We don't do anything, we don't look for solutions, and we just keep feeding ourselves negativity. And before we end the video, I want to talk about sticking to your path. I think the word path is such a vague word. I don't think when we're young, we can see what our path is. I think path is something that you have to reach a certain point in life and you look back and then you start to see everything you've been through. The ups and downs started to connect together. That's when you see your path. And that's why I cannot just tell you to stick to your path because I don't even know what my path is. But what I can tell you is that a lot of things that I've been through are already starting to make sense. For starter, if I never move abroad, I won't have the language skill to sit here and talk to you guys. I won't have the life experience to connect with you guys. And so my point is, you don't need to know what your path is, but you need to trust that whatever that you're going through right now, it happens for a reason. There's a reason why your timeline looks different than other people. And you don't need to know what the reason is, but you have to trust it. And before we end this video, I again want to be very honest with you guys. When I first decided to make this video, I was thinking I'm gonna teach you guys how to never feel behind again. But then at some point I realized, oh shit, I still feel behind sometimes. I still look at those people that are younger than me, more successful than me, making more money than me, and feel behind. And my point is, comparison is just what we do as human. We love that. The solution is not never feel behind again, but having the ability to be aware enough so you catch yourself, I'm doing this again. And to stop taking your thought however it is. Again, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye now.